3DO polycarbonate reinforced with carbon fibers. And for those whose arms are full of wounds which don't heal, we have the regular polycarbonate.
Nobody will understand this joke, man.
No, some people might.
Who are these guys? They hacked my video. This is typical polycarbonate filament reinforced with carbon fibers. As you can see, I cannot bend it, it will break. And this is 3DO pccf. I can bend it, it will not break. But what does it mean with printed object? Well, I'm not really sure, but maybe we will see a tough printed objects for pccf too. Immediately to clear something, this is blend of PC and PBT, because on the box and on the spool it says only PC. Only on the website I can see that this is this blend. And this is not a cheap filament, but according to 3DO it's worth the price. Let's see some specifications from the website about the regular material. Excellent mechanical properties with high impact resistance. Now usually the polycarbonate is quite brittle material, but less brittle compared to the carbon fiber version, but I am testing this too. Temperature resistant, which is, yes, typical for the polycarbonate. Good toughness at low temperatures, and actually I'm preparing a video about this to see which basic material will perform great in very low temperatures. Outstanding chemical resistance, unfortunately something what I cannot test. And the low water absorption, this means it has a stable performance. The nozzle between 260 and 290 degrees Celsius, bed to 110. Now about the carbon fiber version. High tensile and flexural strength. This means it resists good to the bending and probably to the creeping too. More temperature resistant, and yes, this is typical. Carbon fibers always helps here. Low warping and shrinking, ensuring the precision and better dimensional accuracy, and this is typical for these fiber reinforced filaments, but they require the hardened steel nozzle or something similar. We cannot print it with the brass materials. Just shortly about the safety, because after that video, which was a joke about, I got so many comments to stop promoting these fiber reinforced filaments, they are super dangerous and similar. Now, I will do a deeper research on this topic. I even have these air monitors from Air Gradient, but I need some time for this. In the meantime, I analyze so many safety data sheets, and my conclusion is more or less the same. The safety is very similar like in the woodworking industry. So for those who is working regularly with these materials, yes, he should wear glasses, mask, gloves, but I will tell you my example. I work with the wood maybe every 2 months, and I don't really care about this. I will just cut that wood or drill or something like that. But with the metal, I'm working at least weekly, and there I wear safety glasses, gloves, because I'm tired to get always those chips in my skin, and actually they are really irritating. So you have to measure yourself, your risk, and do according to that. Of course, if I cut or drill this carbon fiber material, in that case I try to do it outside and I pay attention to the direction of the wind, so I will not inhale it. Just quick question, would you rip the wood against your skin just to prove that you have wounds which will not heal? Okay, that's enough about this topic. Let's see what's in the box. As you can see, both filaments are in the black color, and the carbon fiber version is less shiny. We have the information about the empty spool, 0.24 kilograms. And there are some print settings, but this information is slightly different from that on the website, but I will start with the temperature tower anyway. Let's see how brittle are the filaments. This is polycarbonate, and I can bend it, it will not break, and this is the pccf. Oh, I can bend it too. Interesting. The surface slightly shinier is the PC compared to the CF version. Polycarbonate is inserted, and I will use the engineering plate with the glue on it, and of course the printing will be inside the enclosure. Temperature tower from 290 degrees Celsius and down to 260. The start is good. This is the first element on 290 degrees Celsius. First element on 290 degrees Celsius is finished, and now this is the second element, and looking good so far. There is no sign of the warping. Printing is finished a few seconds ago. Immediately bed adhesion check. Okay, it's good. I will wait until it cools down. The wet cool down. The glue works perfect. It looks nice, so my test objects will be printed on 290 degrees Celsius. In Slicer, I started with generic PC profile. I modified the temperature to 90 degrees Celsius. Flow will be 16, and the part cooling I reduced to maximal 30%. Looking good so far, and the carbon fiber version will be even easier for the printing. Last few vertically printed test objects, and I hope this is not too fast printing and I will still have a decent layer adhesion. Each test object looks perfect. I switched the material to the pccf, and this time from 295 down to 265. It's finishing the second element, but even one printed on 295 degrees Celsius looks fine. Not bad temperature tower, but the bridging is not so nice, especially this one on the top, but anyway I will print everything on 295 degrees Celsius. In slicer nozzle 295, 12 will be the maximal flow rate, and the same part cooling like previously. And looks like this printing will be fine too. Last few vertically printed test objects. This printing looks really nice. I hope I will not mix them. Theoretically the PC is shinier, but this is one of the shiniest pccf I ever saw so far. The creep tests the deformation under the constant load of 1.25 kilograms. This is PC, and the carbon fiber version are marked with these white lines. $17.14, $14.73. So as expected, less deformation on the carbon fiber version. This is the last fifth day, let's measure them again. 1892, 1591. Let's remove the load. There is a permanent deformation on both of them, but less on the carbon fiber version. So the PCCF had a smaller deformation, but what we need for the creeping is a difference between 2 days. And even here the PCCF was better, but in both cases I could record some creeping in the first 3 days. Only after 4th day it became negligible. The tensile test, smallest cross-section area is 4 by 4 mm, and I'm starting with horizontally printed objects. 73.1. And now the carbon fiber version. Very similar strength. And now the layer adhesion with vertically printed objects. And this is good layer adhesion. Let's see the carbon fiber version. Also very good. Pleasant surprise. I was expecting more on the tensile test, but this layer adhesion is extremely good, even with the PCCF version. Let's see the numbers. No big difference in tensile strength between these two materials, but for example their ASA have a bigger tensile strength, but the layer adhesion is extremely good. For example, that ASA had approximately 40 kilograms in this test, so this is very good for these materials. Shear test with horizontally and vertically printed test objects, and now I'm starting with horizontal ones. Side by side horizontally printed objects, and printed vertically where the layer adhesion is important. They are strong in both directions. Now I thought that the polycarbonate will be slightly stronger than the regular version, but the difference is not big anyway. On shear test, interesting that the carbon fiber didn't help with the horizontally printed test object, and the vertically printed where the layer adhesion is important, again the regular polycarbonate was slightly stronger compared to the carbon fiber version. 3-point bending test where I am placing these loads one by one, and I'm measuring the deformation after 1, 30 and 60 seconds. This is a deformation under 2.5 kilograms. Under 5 kilograms, no big difference, but a noticeable less deformation on the carbon fiber version, and this is under 10 kilograms. Very noticeable permanent deformation on both of them. Again, the PCCF was stiffer, and up to 5 kg this is not big load for these materials. On 10 kg I could record some changes during the time, so this is on the edge of the maximal possibility of these materials. Torque or twist test with horizontally and vertically printed test objects, and I am starting with the horizontal ones. 1.1, 1.3 the peak, 1.5 the peak, 1.3. Usually I cannot make 90-degree rotation. More or less similar numbers, but different break types. No big difference between these two materials. Only big surprise was that I could make a more than 90-degree rotation with this vertically printed object from the polycarbonate. Impact test with this half kilogram hammer. This is regular polycarbonate. 0 position. pccf. Looks like we have a tough polycarbonate, at least the regular version, but let's analyze the footage. These are edge positions of the hammer, and both filaments are extremely tough materials, even pccf, one of the toughest carbon fiber reinforced material I tested so far. And here you can see the numbers converted to kilojoules per square meters. Temperature test in the oven, and these are 2 filaments from this video. This is speed up time-lapse video. At the beginning nothing happened, and the first deformation I noticed on polycarbonate at 170 degrees Celsius, and very quickly after it, on 183 approximately, the carbon fiber version started with the deformation. The experiment I stopped on 220 degrees Celsius and I checked how flexible they are, and in both cases they are quite soft now. Our results one more time without any additional comments, and these 2 lines will be added to that summary table for my Patreon supporters so they can easily compare this data to any of those which I did in earlier videos. And for others, this Excel table you can download from mytech1.com website, link in the description. And now some conclusions for the end. Very interesting, tough materials, both of them, and with a great layer adhesion. And this is important for me when I'm using technical filaments. Now on the other side I was expecting a little bit more on the tensile strength and a little bit more stiffness, especially from the carbon fiber version. I already mentioned the filament itself is not brittle, I can bend it and it will not break, even the pccf. And this may be the advantage with the printability, because it will not break inside those longer Teflon tubes inside the Core XY printers. I had that accident several times earlier when I'm using very brittle filament and it was broken inside those Teflon tubes when they are bended too much. Now don't forget that I'm testing only mechanical properties on room temperature, but these materials have other advantages too which I'm not testing. Chemical resistance or mechanical properties in very low temperatures. Actually for this I'm preparing an experiment, but in this video it is not tested. Now I think biggest disadvantage of this material will be its price, but I believe that this is the price we have to pay if it is made in Europe. If you have some other experience with these materials, then write me down in the comment section a few lines. And a friendly reminder, if you like this kind of videos, you should definitely subscribe and enable that notification bell button too, because in most cases my videos are not really recommended, only to those who are subscribed and enable that all notification bell button too. Basically 70% of the viewers did this already. Anyway, thank you for watching this video, and I hope you will follow me to the next one, and I wish you happy printing. Bye.